Herzlich willkommen zu einer neuen Ausgabe der Klemmbaustein-Lyrik, und im Rahmen der Lego Fan-Media-Days Ende Mai 2021 hatte ich auch die Möglichkeit, mit Designern bei Lego zu den neuen Harry Potter Sets zu sprechen, die im Sommer 2021 jetzt erscheinen werden. Einige der Fragen habe ich auch netterweise von einigen der Zuschauer der Klemmbaustein-Lyrik bekommen und habe sie auch versucht zu positionieren. Schauen wir doch mal rein. Yeah, now we are here talking about Harry Potter. And perhaps you both can introduce yourself, who you are.
Yeah, my name is Bessa, and I have been the creative lead for the Lego Harry Potter franchise for the past 3 years.
Yeah, and my name is Yi-Chien, and I joined Harry Potter team since 2 years ago. So my design starts from the Hogwarts moment, and this year like a Hogsmeade.
And what's your history before Lego, or what was your way to go to the company Lego?
I started at Lego about 10 and a half years ago. So this was my first job straight out of university. And I was studying computer engineering in university and building Lego creations on my spare time, part of the AFOL community. And this was a dream job since I was a kid. So I was one of the lucky ones to make it a reality.
Yeah, and I started in Lego from 7.5 years ago, and before I joined Lego, I'm an architect, and I have several years of experience working in the architecture studio. Yeah.
Okay, so and you both designed the new sets. You only two were the main designers, or how many were involved in the new Harry Potter sets?
So I, as a creative lead, I oversee a team of designers, and we work with a few different designers, including Yi-Chien, on the products. And we've had, for this wave of products that we announced, we had Yi-Chien working on a few of them. Then we also had Nicholas Vaz working on some of the others. We had Wes Talbot also working on the Phoenix. Then we had Georgi Djurjevic and Peter. I don't remember Peter's last name. He's a Danish hard name to pronounce, but it's Peter Kjærgaard. So Peter and Georgie are the graphic designers that have been working on all the minifigures, the decorations and stickers of the models. And I hope I'm not forgetting any names.
We have Jakob for the elements.
Yes, that's correct. We have Jakob Rune Nielsen, which is the element designer lead that has been driving all the process for novelty, all the new elements that we've created. And then we have a couple of other element designers that worked together with Jakob, but I don't know all their names.
You both fans of Harry Potter also?
Oh, we all are.
Okay.
The whole team is big fans of Harry Potter, and we all work on the project because we really love the franchise.
So is it when you decide which buildings and sets and so on to make, have your own ideas, or is this a decision of someone different, or can you have own ideas what will be the next Harry Potter set perhaps?
So we take as a starting point the reference from the movies. So the movies are where we work from. Anything we create, we get inspiration from the movies. Now, what type of experience or what type of product we create? Yes, we do have opportunity to try and explore and come up with ideas, and there has been a lot of experimentation over the years to try and create different types of products. Examples of that are the Hogwarts moments, where you have this type of book that opens up and you have a little play set hidden inside. Or we have the Hedwig and the new Phoenix coming out that flaps the wings as you turn the little lever. We have the new brick-built giant minifigures display characters for Harry Potter and Hermione. And all of these things come from us being passionate fans of Harry Potter, but also passionate Lego fans. And we love to build with Lego, and we love to build different things. So yeah, there's definitely room to explore and create different things.
I think one of the most discussed things because of the new sets is a reboot or restart of building a bigger Hogwarts with different sets. So it's not so long away. I think we also talked about it when we started. You started the new series, and with these Hogwarts going in the wider and wider. Now you restart this. What was the decision and why you do not take it wider and wider, but now start again with the Great Hall and having a different kind of modular building?
So when we started Harry Potter in 2018, there was a 3-year strategy planned that we worked with creating the products that we launched until 2020. When we started the development for 2021, we had an opportunity to kind of press a soft restart on the franchise and make sure that we were bringing something that was new and different from what we've been doing for the past 3 years. Because we're always looking at the new kids that are getting into Harry Potter. For the fans, adults that have been with us since 2018, maybe they are not so interested or don't see the need to reinvent the wheel. But for the kids that are coming new to the franchise, there's an importance of bringing something that is new and fresh to the shelf. And that's where we got back to the drawing board and figured out how can we do something that is still new and different from what we've done before and allows us to revisit locations and moments that are iconic from the universe of Harry Potter, but in a different way, and still do something that will not completely be incompatible with anything else that we've been launching recently. So we found what we believe was a good compromise between the two. The models are still compatible with the previous ones. You can still literally connect them next to each other. And everything is made of Lego pieces. So ultimately, anything can be modified and rearranged however you want. But we wanted to offer something different to the new kids. And that's why we looked back at the product line we launched in 2001, so 20 years ago. And because we were celebrating this anniversary, we thought it would be a great opportunity to bring, what if we were doing some of those play sets today, with today's Lego pieces, with today's Lego style of design, with the knowledge we have today, and create an experience around that is relevant for kids today. At the same time that we were actually paying homage to the memories we had in the design team playing with these models 20 years ago when some of us were kids.
So that's the reason also for the new green roofs.
Yeah.
That's a reference to 20-year-old sets. That's the reason? Because a lot of people saying, that's my old, new ones from 2018, 19, and that's not really fitting with this green now.
Yeah, well, the truth is that roofs oxidate in real life. So maybe you have some roofs that are more oxidated than others. And, in this case, it was about creating this relation or this connection to the old sets. But also, there's this feeling that the color scheme of these buildings, there's something very nostalgic and classic about this color scheme. We acknowledge that the dark gray roofs also look pretty good. And we never know if we're going to get back to them at some point or redo something else when we do another soft restart. We don't know for how long the franchise will last. But for now, for 2021, it was important to do something different and fresh. And now we have, the big Hogwarts micro-scale castle on shelf that has the beautiful dark gray roofs. And we have a new iteration of Hogwarts that kids can build and rearrange however they want with the sand green roofs that also feel different from the other products.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, in the very beginning, when we discussed about what should we do for this 2021 second half product, we talk about in the old time, 20 years ago, those Lego Harry Potter posters always show looks like all the model can stacking together, and that's what I'm wondering. If I can do that, if I have all the set when I was young. But it's actually you cannot. It's not so easy. You put them all together. So when we come out this new module system for Harry Potter, you can create your own Hogwarts. I'm very excited about this whole new build, and yeah.
And it gives the chance for us in the model design team also to go back to certain moments or locations in the castle in a different way, because if you look at the products we've launched so far until 2020, those modular chunks of Hogwarts, we had been through the most iconic places and silhouettes of the castle. And if we had to continue, we would have had to go back to more obscure and unrecognizable places of Hogwarts that wouldn't necessarily speak to the general consumer on the shelf. They wouldn't necessarily recognize it. So that's why it's important in general across any Lego line to keep some of those iconic things to come back in a new, reinterpreted way. That's why you have the Great Hall coming back, but it comes different. It comes with a different experience. It comes connected with the Chamber of Secrets storyline, and it opens doors for more.
Is there? I think some people also saying, if they are very big Harry Potter fans, they discuss, this room normally is not next to this room, and this is not there, and I have the expectation that I think that's a problem of designing, how you really want to make the rooms where they have to be. But is this a starting point when you start to make one of the bigger sets where in real life, in the story, the rooms, and then decide to switch because it's not working as the real life is, or what is the procedure?
Well, actually, to those people that might be a bit upset with the fact that some rooms might not be accurately represented next to the right ones, the modular system is perfect for that, because you can now break it down and rearrange it however you want. So there you go. But the answer to the question is really that we start by taking an approach of looking at the reference, but the reference is not always consistent. Looking at the movies, the castle changes, the location of certain rooms changes. It's not the same as in some of what some fans might remember from the books either. A lot of creative choices were made throughout the movies. So there's not a black and white map that we should follow. So when we create the toys, we're making toys in essence. So we're making the best version of the toy you can think of. So we bring the rooms that make sense to the story we're telling or to the expansion we're trying to bring to the world of the products that are on shelf.
Yeah. So when I start the design, because I'm an architect before, so I actually look into the plan and the section of the Hogwarts design and something. But I totally understand people want the correct location of the rooms, but we more precious those moments happen in the castle, around the castle. So it's we try to do the best selection to put them together. But now, of course, you also have your chance to make your version. Yeah.
Is it right that? It's interesting to see that an astronomy tower also has some sand green. Was this a hint for the next or now the new sets, or is this really random that there's sand green and now we have sand green roofs? Or have you in mind the new sets when you design, or when the designing of the astronomy tower?
The discussion around the rooftops has been going on from the beginning. From when the 2018 products came out, there was already discussion back then. Should we do dark gray? Should we continue the old color scheme that we had originally? So the sand green has always kind of been in the back of the minds or part of the discussion. Now, all those products that came out until now, they have been designed by different people. And every designer has their own take, and we don't have these strict rules saying that you have to follow this formula, you can only use these colors or these bricks, and we want things to feel in harmony, that they go together, but there has to be a certain level of freedom for the creator to express their creative view on that product, because otherwise it would be a very boring work that we would have to do. So in that sense, you also have a little bit of the designer's personal choices and personality reflected on the build. And in the case of the astronomy tower, it was designed by Wes Talbot, and he really loves to play with colors, and he's very good at it. So he had the opportunity to bring a little hints of sand green because he thought it would add to the visual look of the model. It wasn't because we were already making the choice, next year we're going to bring the roofs in sand green. It just so happened to be a happy coincidence that it was kind of the transition.
And something new is also that we have now these collectible plates with different prints on it. Yes, and I asked also my community what I have to ask in the Harry Potter area, and some remind that the question was, can we get double ones in one set, or is it clear that in every set there are only different of these plates?
No, the communication has been very straightforward. They are completely randomized.
Okay.
So we have no control whatsoever, not even in production. We don't know what comes out of the machines at what time. So what you get in the box, it's truly a surprise. And that was a choice made very early in the idea that we want to add something to the product that is a surprise. Because we live in a world today that everything is spoiled by everything. You watch reviews hundreds of times before you buy a product. You watch trailers that are 5 minutes long and tell you the whole story of a movie. You watch the pictures and dissect everything about a Lego set before you see it on a shelf on a shop. So we wanted to give something to the kids out there and grown-ups that when you open the box, there's at least something you don't know yet that you're going to get. And in this case, it's those wizard cards. So they are what they are. It was never our intention that we want to make you buy all the products so you collect the 16 tiles. Even if you buy just one product, you have as many chances of getting your favorite character as if you buy any of the other products.
Okay. Like in the story of Harry Potter, you'd also not know what you get.
And you might end up getting a lot of Dumbledores like Ron did, or you might never get any Dumbledore.
Yeah, okay.
The beautiful thing, though, is that also to remember, hopefully we're moving towards a more opened up world again with COVID becoming, less and less of a problem and the normality returning to our lives. Conventions will hopefully continue or to gradually open up again. People will start to gather again in Lego shops and stuff like that. So we also hope to see the community coming together and trading these cards and actually helping each other complete the collections, because they are not that many to collect. We are talking about 16 designs. It's not like 150 Pokemon that you need to keep on buying chewing gums to collect the stickers like I used to do when I was a kid.
But everyone has the same chance? So
they are completely balanced. So there's none that are more rare than the others.
Okay. Oh, we'll see. There's also a remark from my community was that they realized that the faces of Ginny, Luna, and Justin are the same. Is this right? And why?
On the face print.
Yes. Well, it's Ginny, Luna, and Justin is not exactly the same. He has a similar expression because they are all very simple kids. But we have a differentiation between the girl and the boy faces. So the girl has little eyelashes that are a bit more prominent, and the boy does not have the eyelashes. Now, the reason is it's as simple as when designing a minifigure head, it's, as you know, very minimalistic compared to a human face. And it's always a reinterpretation of what the human reference looks like. And when it comes to kids in particular, the level of detail goes even lower in our design style. So creating multiple heads, so in this case, 2 female faces, one for Ginny and one for Luna, that would have just a subtlety change on a lip expression or a little open mouth, when you already have double expressions on one single face, so you already can create that by turning them around. It just didn't seem the right choice for us in terms of design work, because all of these choices cost something to us, and something else would have been taken out of the product to do that variation. And it just didn't make sense for us. At the end of the day, they look like small little kid minifigures.
Also, some had the question why, or what was the strategy of the decision which of the characters get a gold character, a gold minifigure. Okay, it's clear for the main actors, but for example, there's Quill, there's Snape. Is this also a marketing decision where to put Snape in the chess and Quirrell for the first flight, I think? Or what was the thinking about this?
So we started obviously with Harry, Ron, and Hermione because they are the obvious choices for the franchise. They are the heroes. But then we also wanted to go back to the main storyline of the original movie because that's the milestone that we're celebrating with 20 years. And in that storyline, in that first movie, it's all about the main heroes, and then we have Snape, one of the most sinister and important teachers that we get to meet. And Quirrell, he is the manifestation of Voldemort at that point. Now, we also knew that Voldemort, in general, is a very recognizable and iconic player of the universe. So we thought it would be also great to actually have that, the true Voldemort as a minifigure as well. Now, one could argue that maybe there are other key players that are missing. ...
Perhaps the future will show. Have you, for yourself, a favorite one of the new sets now?
My favorite of the new ones is probably the Chamber of Secrets. I think it's super cool how much got packed into that playset, and there's so much play starters and ingredients for hours of play. And if I had been a 12-year-old now buying or getting my hands on that set the same way I did with the first Hogwarts castle 20 years ago, I think I would have been, over the moon, happy with it.
Yeah, my favorite is the Hogsmeade, because it's a place we didn't visit for so long, and it's like to give the newest to the Harry Potter line and to build this beautiful snow village. So, yeah.
Was this success of Harry Potter a surprise? So I know when the first time this was introduced 3 years before, I asked also, and they said, we wait half a year now, we'll see what will happen, and if it's working good, perhaps there will new sets, and this is now 3 years ago, and it's still, I think, from not knowing the numbers, but I think it's working good. So was this also the prize for you? Or was it clear that would be because we have not so many movies now? It's working without the movies. Was it a surprise?
Yeah, I think there was a lot of passion behind the project and hope that there would be an audience out there that would respond to this. But I don't think from back when we launched it in 2018, we didn't know at all how well it was going to perform. And it has surpassed all expectations back then, and it has continued to be extremely successful over the last couple of years. So we're very happy to see that those results so far, and we can only hope that it will continue to be that way, and we will continue to do our best to bring the best products we can out there and the different experiences to kids and grown-ups that love Harry Potter and Lego. But you never know. We will keep it. We take it a day at a time, and we don't take anything for granted.
I think we all have to hope, even if we go on to new sets, that there's something happening like Star Wars now and Marvel the TV shows. But who knows? What I think some is in a rumor that there is some in the Harry Potter. But I'm not really sure.
That has to be on our IP partner side. They have to figure
I know.
out what they
it's
want
not a
to
question
do,
for you.
And then
I know.
How we'll long be here and happy to consider everything.
Yeah, I also got so many questions about. I know that you cannot answer. Where's Gringotts? When will come the next UCS, nearly QCS model, and so on? I know. That you will not answer, but that was a question for my community as also. How long you are working on one of these sets, or the designers, from the idea till it's announced? How is this months, years?
We take, I think, maybe a good average would be between 3 and 6 months of work that goes into each of these products, depending on the price points or how big it is and how complex it is. But probably that's a good indication of the time we work from when we start discussing on ideas and we actually are hands-off done with the design work.
Okay, so yeah. I think there are a lot of questions for the future, and nobody knows. Even you, but you know. But I know you will not tell.
We don't. We don't know.
You don't know the future.
I don't know. I don't know what's happening tomorrow.
That's right. That's right. But are you only working for Harry Potter, or have you worked, or is it what are the areas you're also working for?
So I have been the creative lead on Harry Potter and only Harry Potter for the past 3 years. But before that, I was working a lot on different IPs. I've worked a lot on superheroes, Simpsons, Ghostbusters, Lego Movie 1, Batman movie. Yeah.
Okay. And for you?
Yeah, I'm also these 2 years focused on Harry Potter. But before Harry Potter, I work on lots of IP as well. Lots of movie, Jurassic World, Angry Birds, Scooby-Doo, and even classic Pirates. And also Batman movie like Unikitty and Hidden Side. Yeah.
But also, there's one question I have about the process. I think I read about also when the designer of the Jelly Bugle told a little bit about the process, and that you have every part has a price point and when you design. Is it also with Harry Potter? You have a rough idea how much costs in or virtual cost each set has to be, and then you have to decide which parts fit in this cost. Is this right?
Yeah. There's definitely a lot of creative work alongside a lot of strategic work that has to happen. So in order for a product line to be successful and to deliver what we expect of it, we need to have a lot of considerations on who are we designing for, who is our consumer, what is the type of price point the consumer is willing to spend, what are the ideas that fit in what price point, and so on. So there's a lot of consideration and a lot of work that goes hand in hand with design and marketing.
But also when you decide, for example, how many minifigures you have inside, is this also something a designer can suggest? I would like here Harry and Hermine and so on.
Yeah, there's definitely,
or is it a broader ideas from a top, from a stage overview of the lead designer, how many minifigures you have to put in every set?
So ultimately, there's a lot of work on the strategy that is defined by the lead team, and that is the creative lead, like myself in this case, the marketing lead, and the project manager. And we make a lot of strategic choices on the franchise that are supported by our leadership team. So there's another layer above us that also has to sign off on whatever proposals we bring to the table. But then we have the creative team, the designers, that's what I oversee and lead, that they also have the space to feed their suggestions and shape and help shape the assortment and the products we create. So it's a synergetic work that happens across many different people.
Okay. So I think time is over. Thank you very much. And
thank you
perhaps we all meet next year in Billund again in person. Looking forward. Okay. So
have a great weekend.